wild Kruger, land of predators and prey. In the cold mist of dawn, Kruger is almost completely silent. Hidden behind the riverside grasses along the Sabie River, a male lion lies motionless. Only his amber eyes remain fixed on the open space ahead. His thick mane has faded with age. Deep scars mark his shoulders and neck, evidence of countless battles he has survived. Ahead of the lion, a herd of wildebeests grazes peacefully in the first light of a new day. They have no idea they are standing within sight of one of Kruger's most formidable predators. Welcome to Kruger, one of the greatest ecosystems on Earth, where there is no final winner. As the sun slowly rises above the horizon, Kruger awakens beneath the pale golden light of morning. From above, its grasslands, woodlands and rivers stretch across the landscape like a world with no visible end. Extending across the provinces of Limpopo and Mpumalanga in northeastern South Africa, Kruger National Park stretches nearly 360 kilometers from north to south. With an average width of about 60 kilometers, it is one of Africa's largest and most important protected natural areas. But Kruger was not always a national park. In the late 19th century, as hunting pressure continued to increase, South African authorities began their first efforts to protect this land. In 1898, the Sabie Game Reserve was established, laying the foundation for what would later become Kruger National Park. In 1926, the reserve was officially named after Paul Kruger, the former president of South Africa and a strong supporter of wildlife conservation. Since then, Kruger has become a symbol of Africa's efforts to preserve its wild world. Today, it is home to more than 140 species of mammals and over 500 species of birds. Thousands of species of plants, reptiles, amphibians and insects coexist here, creating one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet. From massive elephants weighing several tons to tiny dung beetles quietly carrying out their work beneath the dry soil. Every creature has its own role. Each one is a link in the web of life that has been shaped through millions of years of evolution. Many people believe that lions are the kings of Kruger. But the longer one observes, the more it becomes clear that this land has no true king. Even the most powerful predator depends on the grasslands. The grasslands depend on rain, And rain depends on natural forces far beyond the control of any living creature. In Kruger, power does not lie in claws or teeth. It lies in the fragile yet enduring balance that has sustained this land for millions of years. When we think of wild Africa, most of us immediately think of predators, lions, leopards, or African wild dogs. But the true soul of Kruger does not lie in sharp fangs. It lies in the grasslands. Across this land, herds of impalas can be found almost everywhere. They move through open woodlands, gather along riverbanks, and cover vast stretches of open plains. With a population of more than 100,000 individuals, the impala is one of Kruger's most successful animals. They do not possess extraordinary strength, nor do they have exceptional hunting or defensive abilities. Their greatest weapon is adaptability. Impalas graze on grass when the rains arrive. And when the grasslands wither beneath the dry season sun, they switch to feeding on leaves and young shoots. That flexibility allows them to survive in places where many other species struggle to endure. And these impala herds quietly sustain an entire world. Every day, they transform simple blades of grass into energy that moves throughout the ecosystem. That energy will continue its journey from the grasslands to the predators hidden in the shadows. But the impalas are not alone. On the same plains, herds of zebras are carrying out their own role. With strong teeth and a specialized digestive system, they process the tall, coarse grasses that many other species ignore. Behind them, wildebeests quietly move in. They select the shorter, fresher grasses and take advantage of what the zebras leave behind. Higher above, among the thorny acacia trees, giraffes reach for leaves that are beyond the reach of every other species. Each species utilizes a different part of the same landscape. Each species occupies its own level within nature's vast banquet. At first glance, it appears crowded, but in reality, it is harmony. After millions of years of evolution, Kruger's herbivores have learned how to coexist rather than compete directly. It is an arrangement that is almost perfect, a system in which every creature has its own place. And it is from these seemingly ordinary animals that all of Kruger's other stories begin. Because before there can be breathtaking chases, before there can be roars echoing through the night, There must be grasslands. And there must be herbivores quietly sustaining this entire wild world. But in Kruger, peace has never been the same as safety. Across a sea of golden grass stretching to the horizon, thousands of eyes are watching one another. While the herbivores search for food, another group of animals is following their every movement. The predators. A lioness rests beneath the shade of a tree. Under the midday sun, she is almost completely motionless. But that stillness can deceive anyone. Lions spend most of the day resting and conserving energy. Because when an opportunity appears, everything happens within just a few brief seconds. In another part of the park, a leopard lies stretched across a tree branch. From the safety of the canopy, it watches the grasslands below, like a strategist studying its battlefield. Unlike lions, leopards are masters of solitude. They hunt alone, relying on near-perfect camouflage and lightning-fast attacks. Farther south, a pack of African wild dogs is beginning to move. They are not as powerful as lions, nor do they possess the muscular strength of hyenas. But they are among the most efficient predators on the planet. Each member of the pack has its own role. They communicate through quiet sounds and coordinate with one another with astonishing precision. At first glance, predators seem to be a threat to every herbivore. But the reality is far more complex. Without pressure from predators, herbivore populations would increase uncontrollably. The grasslands would quickly become overgrazed, food resources would be depleted, and eventually the entire ecosystem would pay the price. By hunting the old, sick, weak, or slower individuals, predators help maintain the health of the prey populations as a whole. It is a role that is rarely seen, but it is incredibly important. In Kruger, life does not exist despite predators. Life exists because of them. Just like the impala herds and the endless grasslands, lions, leopards, and African wild dogs are all links in the same system. A system built not on power, but on balance. And it is that balance that quietly operates across the land of Kruger beneath the brilliant sunlight of a new day. If the grasslands are the foundation of Kruger, then water is the lifeblood that sustains everything. And nowhere is more important than the Sabie River. Unlike many other rivers in Africa, the Sabie almost never runs dry. Even during the harshest dry seasons, when many riverbeds are reduced to sand and stone, the water continues to flow. That is what has made the Sabie one of the richest areas of life in all of Kruger. Every creature in this land is drawn to it. Along both riverbanks, ancient sycamore fig trees and African sausage trees create a green corridor through the hot, dry savanna. Beneath them grow nutrient-rich sweet grasses that are especially favored by herbivores. Herds of impalas, kudus, zebras and elephants regularly appear along the riverbanks. Wherever there is water and food, there is always an abundance of life. And wherever there is life, predators are never far away. The riverine forests provide ideal hunting grounds for leopards and African wild dogs. The Sabie is also home to hundreds of bird species. From tiny kingfishers to African fish eagles, all of them find abundant food along this river. It also serves as the natural boundary between Kruger National Park and the famous Sabie Sand Private Game Reserve. There are no fences between them, allowing animals to move freely back and forth, just as they have done for thousands of years. But beneath those calm waters lie ancient dangers. Nile crocodiles and hippos are always present, reminding every creature that the most valuable source of life can also be the most dangerous place. In Kruger, every path eventually leads to the Sabie. Because it is not just a river, but the lifeblood that sustains the entire kingdom of balance. But the place that gathers the most life is also where nature's cycle is revealed most clearly. An old impala collapses beside the riverbank. A crocodile fails to survive the dry season. Or a giant elephant reaches the end of a journey that lasted for decades. In nature, death is unavoidable. But what is remarkable is that in Kruger, death rarely remains for long. Just minutes after a carcass appears, the first visitors are already gathering in the sky. Vultures circle in wide spirals, their wings catching rising thermals that carry them hundreds of meters into the air. From great distances, they can detect where the cycle of life has just turned to a new chapter. For many people, vultures are symbols of decay. But for Kruger, they are silent guardians. Without them, animal carcasses would remain longer beneath the African sun. Bacteria and disease-causing organisms would have far more opportunities to spread. Thanks to their specialized digestive systems, Vultures can process things that most other creatures cannot. They eliminate the risk of disease before it has a chance to spread. Beside them stand marabou storks, with their strange and awkward appearance. They make use of what remains, ensuring that almost nothing goes to waste. But the cleanup is still not finished. Beneath the ground, a much larger workforce is quietly at work. Dung beetles begin to gather around the droppings of elephants, buffaloes, and antelope. At first glance, their work seems insignificant. But every year, tons of waste are returned to the soil by these tiny creatures. They restore nutrients to the grasslands, where new shoots will emerge after the rains. Even death is nourishing life. And that may be the most perfect expression of the balance this land has maintained for millions of years. For millions of years, Kruger has endured droughts, wildfires, and the harsh fluctuations of nature. The balance here has always changed, but it has never truly disappeared. Then a new force appeared. Humans. Unlike lions or elephants, humans have the ability to alter the environment faster than any other living creature. Impacts that once took hundreds of years to develop can now occur within just a few decades. No species reflects this more clearly than the rhinoceros. At the beginning of the 20th century, hundreds of thousands of rhinos roamed across Africa. Today, only a few thousand black rhinos remain worldwide. Kruger is now the most important stronghold for South Africa's rhinos. However, over the past decade, thousands of individuals have been killed by poachers solely for their horns. Every rhino that disappears is not just the loss of an individual. It is the loss of a link that has existed within this ecosystem for millions of years. But poaching is not the only challenge. Scientists have recorded that temperatures across southern Africa are rising faster than the global average. Dry seasons are becoming longer, while extreme heat waves are occurring more frequently than before. For Kruger, this means increasing pressure on its rivers, grasslands, and food resources. Small changes in climate can spread throughout the entire web of life. Even so, the fight to protect Kruger continues. Hundreds of rangers patrol this land of nearly 20,000 square kilometers every day. Scientists continuously monitor animal movements, water resources, and environmental changes to ensure that the ecosystem continues to function. Because the most valuable thing in Kruger is not its lions, elephants, or rhinos. It is the balance that has been built through millions of years of evolution. And now, the future of that balance depends on the very species with the greatest ability to change it. Humans. The sun is slowly sinking below the horizon. The final light of day bathes the vast grasslands, the riverine forests, and the Sabie River, which continues to flow quietly as it has for millions of years. During that time, countless generations of animals have been born and disappeared. Young elephants have grown into giants. Young lions have claimed territories and eventually given way to the next generation. Everything in Kruger changes. But somehow, the balance endures. The grasslands continue to sustain the impala herds, predators continue to maintain the health of prey populations, and the silent cleaners continue returning everything to the earth. No creature truly rules this place. Not the lion, not the elephant, and not even humans. Each species is only a small part of a much larger story. A story that has been written through millions of years of evolution. As darkness begins to settle over Kruger, the old lion beside the Sabie River is still standing there, quietly watching the land he once fought to protect. But perhaps, more than any other creature, he understands a simple truth. That in Kruger, there is no final winner. There is no throne that lasts forever. There is only life, constantly moving from one generation to the next. And above all, there is only balance. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Kruger, one of the most extraordinary ecosystems on Earth. If you enjoy stories about the natural world, be sure to subscribe to the channel and continue exploring the world's remarkable wild places with us. We'll see you again on the next journey.